What is up, sixth man here with my partners in crime? We have House Lasku, the reigning champ. We have Salt Bray, the most unpredictable member of the sixth man, and we have myself, the host. What do we talk about? We talk about the hot topics from the NBA and a recent topic which happened, I believe it was Sunday night. A player had his jersey hanged in the rafters. And it's obviously a childhood memory of ours, and that is Kevin Garnett, one of the most intimidating, I would say, most loyal, most all heart players. You really, if you love the game of basketball and you give it 100%, you're gonna love this guy. And I thought it would just be cool if we discuss, similar to what we did with Kobe, but our best memories from KG growing up. I'm going to start with House Lasku. What do you remember from KG?
So again, I think I got into NBA roughly around about 2012, 2013. So I think that was just when he was at his Celtics time, whatnot. And I remember that time watching a lot of documentaries just to understand a bit more about the history of the game and players, etc. And I remember watching the KG documentary. And the one thing that stood out for me with that documentary compared to everything else, I mean, of course, I knew what KG was and knew about him, etc., was even during the documentary, how just intense he was. And how even during that, somewhere was supposed to be such a chilled environment, relaxed, he was talking about his time in the league, etc. It was just super focused and intense, like it was an actual game, like it's still playing in a game. And I found that really interesting and just quite endearing. I was like, oh wow, this guy's like just it made him quite lovable to me, and I was sort of rooting for him. Then after, he was my favorite out of the big three. KG was definitely my favorite. So that intensity and that just sort of passion, desire, and then that can also spill over to being sometimes a bit too much. Because then I also remember the story which that came out from Carmelo Anthony, the stuff that he was saying about Melo's misses, which isn't the most pleasant thing to say, but that's one thing I remember. And then also that whole drama in the Eastern Conference between him and Joakim Noah about sort of their back and forth. Again, quite interesting because that's sort of why you like the sport, you like the drama of it, you like the theatre of it all. And yeah, those are the things that I remembered just later on. And obviously his run with the Nets with Paul Pierce. But those are sort of my memories of KG. I was just saying to you guys just before we started how for that, again, randomly, I didn't know it was KG's retirement over the weekend. And like, I didn't like the Adam Sandler bits because it annoyed me, his character did. But the KG bits are really cool and really fun. I like how he was incorporated in the storyline. It made sense. But yeah, that's my KG spiel.
These are some big moments. Bray, I think you might want to feed off one of them. I feel like that's probably where you're going on those points. Really? No?
No.
I just one thing about Joakim Noah is him. I believe he's at this local radio show and Derrick Rose is next to him and they're a promising team and they're talking about all the stuff, and they've obviously asked him about KG and he's like, yo, where's the love, man? Where's the love? Which is so funny because Noah is actually like, he's like KG light, you know?
Yeah. He's
basically another version of him. And if you listen to interviews, I think he's realized why KG is a certain way, and he probably didn't realize back then. But yeah, very interesting point. Bray, what have you got?
Yeah, I mean, like obviously the intensity is something that he's known for, and yeah, in watching documentaries and all that, it just comes through. And hearing all those interviews, I was looking up like stories about him, just to see if anything jogged my memory, and I saw this one and I was like, oh my God, I remembered when this happened the first time. And someone said about it. And anyway, Brian Scalabrine, the man behind me, not that side, there you go, tells a story of when he was on the team. He was like obviously the 11th man on the bench, fan favorite. And he was telling a story about them on the plane. And they got into this arm wrestling tournament, basically, as a team on the plane. And this is when Big Baby's on the team, Big Baby Davis. And he's just so much bigger than everyone. He's just killing everyone, talking all kinds of smack. Apparently, KG wasn't really into those, so he was just kind of stepped back, just watching, like adult watching the kids play. He's too serious for this stuff. Anyway, one day they're on a flight, and KG's like, "I'm ready. We're going. we're doing it. And this is like after Big Baby has asserted his dominance over everyone. Like no one's even bothering anymore. And KG's like, nah, we're playing. So as NBA players want to do, they're all betting on it. They're all betting. Apparently, Paul Pierce ended up. So obviously they bet against each other. So like someone says, I want to bet on KG, someone else will pick it up. Paul Pierce was the only one basically betting on KG. So he was holding about 10 grand in bets or something ridiculous like that, like absolutely ridiculous. But he's backing KG, and obviously Fox altogether, fair enough. Before the arm wrestle, he goes, "There's a rule, both hands on the table." What he'd noticed is that Big Baby was like holding on with his offhand to get all his weight behind it, which is why he was steamrolling everyone. So that's the first thing, is that he's noticed it. And then anyway, so hands on the table, they're going at it. Big Baby tries to slam it, and KG's like, I'm not moving. I'm not moving. I'm not moving. And then slowly and slowly, the intensity just gets up until KG is yelling in this man's face, like, I'm not fucking moving, just going absolutely insane. Eventually, Big Baby just runs out of juice. KG wins. Paul Pierce is scooping up his money, and that just goes like KG is just sweating, and that embodies him. Someone who is ridiculously intense, but so smart to spot what's going on. He's taken a step back. He's looked at it, and then when he's in the moment, he's totally keyed in. And I think him, especially on the defensive end, is just incredible. And to be honest, when I was a kid, was someone who I thought, oh, that's someone I actually quite like to model my game after. Defensive stopper, nice mid range, like that. And like
baseline Bray.
Yeah, I mean, and not so much anymore, but I think definitely when I was younger, that was someone I thought, yeah, that like to be that guy would be incredible. Not as much as a psychopath as he is, I promise. But yeah, that's my KG story.
You wouldn't be saying Honey Nut Cheerios anytime soon. Definitely not, bro. I don't think that's you. I hope it's not you, because that was really harsh to Mello, poor guy, waiting outside on the bus, trying to greet him. I have a lot of KG memories. The first NBA game that I bought, he was on the front cover, which was 2K9, which is really cool. And he's like patting his chest and stuff. There's a couple of memories I have. One of them is from All the Smoke, with him talking about the Michael Jordan story. It's hilarious. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but if you ever...
the Tim Duncan story's better.
They're both that whole interview is just amazing, because he's just so unfiltered. He will literally say whatever he wants. And even in the jersey retirement, he was effing and blinding like 10 seconds in. And I was like, there's kids are, but yeah, he doesn't care. Well, the two memories that I have, the first one is I remember watching, I think it was it wasn't Sixers, it was Knicks Celtics. And KG had the press conference after with Craig Sager, and he has loads of famous interviews with Craig Sager about, burning jackets or whatnot. And the game was really low scoring. And Craig's like, asked him questions like, how he's doing. He's like, hey, Craig, that was a bar fight, man. That was a bar fight. You ever been to a bar fight before? You ever bar? It's a bar fight, man. Just kept saying it. And he was like so intense after the game. And he just goes on for like a minute. And you can just tell that he's like not yet processed what's just happened. That was one. And another one which is just hilarious, and I remember it because it was the Bulls Celtics. This is when they went to 7 games. And this is when Derrick Rose broke out. Ben Gordon had that amazing series. I think we will be looking at 08, 09. But in that series, it was 09-10 maybe. KG is injured. He's out for the playoffs. So the Celtics aren't essentially a contender, and they're the top seed. And this is the game where Ray Allen hits that 3 at in overtime to put them up 3. And the camera just shuts to KG, and he's on the bench, like all suited up, and he's just barking at them like, yeah, like what? Like he just hit the shot, and I was just cracking up, man. This guy, like he doesn't stop. He's so entertaining. He's like definitely miss him a lot in the game. I don't know if you guys have got anything off the back of that.
I love the Sega interviews. I've forgotten about those where he's like, Craig, I need you to take this suit, burn it, the whole thing, burn it. And Craig's like, I can't give anything. No, nothing. Down to your drawers, probably those two. Burn it. Like just I love it.
So funny. He's also Area 21 was really funny as well when he had the curse button. He wasn't a great presenter because it got cancelled, but yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly when you were saying. I was like, oh shit, yeah, Area 21. Oh shit, what happened with that? And like, I'd love to know how the producers felt it went.
Him and Charles Barkley. That's another story which is hilarious. Where Charles sends him a jab, and he's like,
Skinny jeans?
like, no, he's like, I think he's Gary Payton's there or whatever. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, you're a Hall of Famer. KG, you're borderline Hall of Fame. And KG's like, what? And KG is just like, hang on. He's like, Kenny, you a champion. Shaq, you a champion. Charles, you borderline champion. So funny.
No, but I mean, the Charles Barkley ones, like, because he's so cool with it, he doesn't care. So they don't hit as well. Like the Charles Barkley jump is like, oh, well,
you can't tell me that the skinny jeans thing wasn't so funny. Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's going to be sad. Obviously, now that he hasn't played for a while, and his jersey's gone. But hopefully, he stays around the media because he's good. He needs to have his own show, man. He's just too unfiltered to not have one. I do think he's great.
I think it would be good. I'm surprised he hasn't got a podcast or something going.
I think he has a Showtime podcast, maybe.
Oh, maybe. Right, I have to give it a listen then. But yeah, and also I love how he's buried the hatchet with Ray.
Finally, it's taken him long enough.
But I think it was the whole Ray thing was more Ray and Rondo, right? It wasn't to do with anyone else.
I think it was KG as well. I think there was definitely some resentment there.
Another thing which is amazing, the fact that you've just brought that up, Ed and Bray, but when Ray Allen goes to play, I think they're playing them the opening night in Miami, and Ray goes over to the bench and he's like, Doc Rivers, blah, blah, blah. And KG is like, I think he's injured. And he's just nothing. And he goes over to him. And I absolutely love it. Like, even with the ceremony where he just wasn't looking at him, I was just like, I love that you've got this grudge. I love it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, no, it was good. And it's not like he wasn't doing much, there at that point. So it was like, yeah, there's something fun. But yeah, I like how he finished his career in Minnesota as well. That was really nice.
Nice touch. I think we'll just close it out with Eddie Biggest Buzz. See you later.